I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is August 10, Thursday, 2023. And got back from the funeral, and unbelievable story today. While she was getting buried into the ground, literally dropped. I take the trade for the sell here, manage it on the phone, and beautiful all the way down to the point. Took the profit. Show you in a second. So we had this. We had CPI today. Obviously, we opened up. All right. So if you remember, so I didn't do yesterday's video. So the day before that, which was Tuesday the 8th, I had mentioned we have liquidity up here and we have liquidity down here. So I'm going to also do yesterday's review quickly today as well. Let's see here. And so if you watched the last video, so this makes sense, I'm going to just go to a smaller time frame real quick. Let me go to an hour. So just watch up here. I was mentioning the last video that I made. Well, the day before that, even I said we'll sell from here. We took out that low. So this was a nice buy up to here. And then I stopped. And then that was when we made the last video right here. And I said I wanted the price to peak up a little bit. Okay, just a little bit, come up more into here. Possibly late here, but as far as up here in that imbalance up there. Up here was reasonable. And sure enough, beautiful sell that happened right here. And that took off. And actually, let me just scrub over with this. So I'm gonna try to make this simple. So here's the thing. So yep. Let's see here. No, we did that. Yeah, it was this day. So this day was yesterday, and took the sell from right here. I ended up taking this sell from right here, but I did this from a phone and didn't screenshot it or anything, but took the sell from right there. And I took this pre-New York, so this was after 8:30, popped up into there, took it, and then 9:30 opened here. It retraced back into that imbalance. I held the price or the trade, and then it sank down. So this was a fake move, right? Popping up right here. This was just really a lower low and a lower high, but just it looks ugly. And then it sank down. And I said that we would retrace from here. So we retraced up a little bit. Look, we came up. We came and took out almost that liquidity there, but we didn't. And we stayed inside that block right there. You can't even see the candle, but you could tell. And then where did we take it? I took this to about the 61 right here. Let me open this up. So I took this trade yesterday to the 61, and I had my family and I had a bunch of stuff going on. So this is what I was able to manage, and then I took the trade and I was done. I didn't deal with the rest of the day. So price came down, didn't take out that low, stretched far enough, and I put a fib here from A to B. Even though we're bearish, I want to see, just because I know the next day was CPI, that we were probably going to go up to take liquidity and then come back down, right? So we didn't take out that low, and we came down. So this fibs from A to B, right? Remember, this fibs here is from A to B for a bearish fib. Retraced, okay, perfect. Got into here and then sold. But I put a fib here to here, right? You might thinking, well, if you're bearish, why would you do that? Well, because the probabilities of the Fibonacci, mathematically, if from this low, if this doesn't get broken and this becomes a range in itself to go back up, then I want to see how far can this come down. And sure enough, it did. Well, I took it here because I wasn't trying to find out, but it retraced far enough. No specific level here, but the bodies did respect that open price. Oh, not the open price. It was it the open price? Yeah. Yeah, the opening week price of this week was, and it came right to there. So you would have took a buy right there for sure. But if you didn't, I understand. But it came low enough to get into this block right here. These two blocks right here. See these two down blocks? This is what, a 5 minute? Yeah. So pops in, bodies respect right here. Then it retests again. See that? See that? Look at that. See how it retest that open right there as well? That would have been a signal to buy as well. So that was yesterday. And what did it do? That buy, and this was at lunchtime. This is a lunch reversal as well. Another reason why you would buy, because it's also a lunch reversal. So you got a couple confluences going on there, right? So anyways, that would have been the buy, but I didn't bother. And then if you did, where would you take that to? Well, you got all this imbalance here. You have a piece of liquidity there that people sold at 10:30 to get into the trade down because they were confused here. I ended up getting in early, so I was just like, amazing. But I'm making really good decisions, and that's also a big part of trading and success is that, you'll see that you start making better decisions, and, you minimize the losses. And, you stop and overtrade and take better trades, and you'll see everything just start to come together. Anyways, came back up, took that liquidity, balanced most of that price, and anyone who sold, because this was the 930 area. So everyone trying to sell from here, they came back and wiped them out. So what did they do after that? They came back down to wipe anybody trying to buy here. All right, so now we have, looking on the 15-minute or the 1 hour, you have that liquidity here. You have that liquidity here. You have that liquidity there. You have that liquidity there. You have that liquidity there, that liquidity there. So you see how it's kind of, you're like, oh, I don't know which direction it's going. So now let's talk about today real quick. And then today opens up, and I have to be at the actual church to get the funeral cars all in line so we can go to the burial site, whatever, right? Maybe my auntie she blessed us today with all this. But so 8:30 comes in here, and let me go to a 1 minute for this real quick. And then this was the fake move, right? Going up here. So, but here's the thing. I was on a phone, and I'm not used to trading on a phone, to be honest with you. I do, but I don't, right? So, anyways, I tried to take this trade as a buy. And yes, the funeral thing, we started leaving at 9 o'clock. So I was like, I'm sitting in the car and with my family, and I'm just sitting like, I take the trade right here, right? Because it comes in, at first it goes up, and I don't play with it. It goes up, it comes down, takes that liquidity, and then it pops up with this candle. Even though I know this was a bearish candle, it did retrace back in and react nice, and I took it. Then I lost it. It failed, right? Small loss, no big deal. My risk is small always anyway. I took the loss, and then it comes down and it bounces right here on, this is the opening gap for today. So it hits that, but at this point, I'm like, I'm not playing around. I'm not going to trade probably, because I told myself I wasn't going to trade today. And then anyway, so now price is going up. I'm kind of looking a little bit, but I'm now like in the car. We're in line with all the cars going to the funeral or going to the cemetery, right? So what's the time? The time is 9:45, 9:50, 10 o'clock now. And then I get an alert, and it hits this, hits that opening, hits that gap I was telling you guys about. If you look on the daily here, I said that this would be an extreme on the top side. So watch that video so it makes sense. That was August 8th I made that video. So I put this, because there's no body in between this gap right here. And there's still no body, which I'm surprised at. But it did go back and retest it. So that's enough for me to take a sell. Generally, I would have liked it to have a body here, but the thing is we have all this liquidity over here. And our intentions are to get into here as well, right? All right, so that being said, I get the notification here, and I don't do anything. And as this is happening, she's literally getting dropped into the ground. And I'm like, I'm stupid. I got my phone out, but like I look at it for a second, no one can kind of see me. I kind of move to the side, and I'm like, yo, man, I'm going to catch this thing, dude. Because what happened? Well, CPI brought the news down here and brought it back up here. Well, so what do I expect CPI to do? Keep going? No, I really don't expect that. First of all, I'm bearish. Number two, we just took out, if you look at this 1 hour, we just took out all this liquidity right here, right? And then this taps into that gap, and then it stays underneath that low, right? So, and now I'm looking at a 1 minute chart. I don't even go to a lower time frame. I go to a 1 minute chart, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Real quick, I'm gonna take this trade. So soon as it dips underneath and it pops up, I mean, this was a little bit of luck because of timing. I literally had like a minute or two to look to the side on the phone while she's getting put to the ground. You know how they bring her, you know, they reel her down into the ground with a casket. Anyways, pops right in. I take the trade, stop loss right there, above that high, and I don't even need it to be above this high. If it goes more than 50% of this wick, I know this trade is wrong. So anyways, and then it starts coming down, coming down, coming down. I'm like, holy shit. Don't tell me I just caught this while on a phone at the cemetery while she's being dropped and my family's there. Anyways, and that thing kept going. And what's crazy is I'm gonna make this, let me make this bigger, this 1 hour, and then I'll finish this video, and I'll show you the trade. But so now I decide to look at the 1 hour chart because I can't be sitting here looking at a 1 minute. And number two, I'd rather look at a bigger time frame for momentum. And sure enough, where's the liquidity? So when you take this trade, I don't even have no fib here. I don't need a fib. I couldn't even use a fib because that's like I didn't have the time to kind of like precisely put it on there on the phone. I just left the chart the way it was. What was my principle? Well, I know we hit here. I know we took this liquidity, and that here. Right there, that one. And then I'm like, okay, well, we have all this liquidity. This is what I wanted to attack right here. This at the least. Yes, we had that one from the 830, what it dropped today. Then we had that piece of liquidity from yesterday. Now, here's the thing. I did, it was such a big profit, you know, on my phone, and I was excited, just like I did this day. But this one was a little more special for some reason. I don't know why. But it came all the way down on the 1 hour, and literally it did not take out that low right there. And then I looked at a 1 minute, and let me just go to a 1 minute so you could understand this. And I'm on a phone though. So get to a 1 minute here. Literally, it stretches. I see the price. And then I literally get out. I didn't even wait and bother because I was debating about taking the trade or not out the whole time when we were down here, especially here. But I was like, man, it might come down here. It might be one of the biggest days ever and all this and that. And I was like, you know what? I'm up 18 grand. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking this shit out. And at this point, I'm back at the house, and I'm not really being sociable because I'm staring at the phone and, you know, showing some cousins because, you know, they're in town, and I'm like, they don't know really what I do, but, you know, I showed them what I do. I'm like, look at this shit. Show them the screen, 18 grand. They're like, damn. So, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this shit. Done. Took it out. And as soon as I took it out, what's crazy, my level was 182. Actually, I screenshotted at 182. Let me show you the trade. Right here. So this is the phone. And normally I won't do this or do this, but I'll do this because I'm just proud, to be honest. But as you see, 35, 182, I screenshot it, and then I close the trade right after the screenshot, obviously, right? So, and then if you look here, look at the low. Look what the low is up there. Low up, look what the top is. The low, 181. I screenshot it at 182. So, man, raped it. I mean, and then closed out and didn't care what it did. I didn't care if it was to come down and take out this liquidity. I didn't care if it went all the way up. Dude, I don't give a shit. I had an amazing trade and a huge win, and I'm going to, take it. I don't care. So, yeah, man. And then it kind of fizzled out. So what's funny is if I didn't take it out right here, look, it retraced all the way back. And what's funny, it came all the way back and took out that low, but then it stopped. It never took out. Let me see. I don't remember. I don't think it took out this low. No, it never took out, right? Yeah, it never took out that low. So, and I was married to the idea of taking out this low, but I was like, man, this is just too big of a trade. Why do I need to let it hit here? So the learning lesson is, take the profit, above liquidity even. You don't need to hit it to be right. You don't want to be greedy and wait to here. I could have been greedy and waited till here. And I would have, and could have missed out on a big chunk, right, of cash. So anyways, yeah, phenomenal day. And then as far as tomorrow goes, we do have news, and this is going to be tricky. So here's August. And to be honest with you, I really don't want to trade anymore in this month. I said that in the beginning, and I even said that on Tuesday, but it's still volatile. These ranges are massive. It's beautiful, really. But and I wish it was like this every day. But the thing is like it's about to get ugly. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is, and after looking at historical data, this is technically consolidating, right? And it can get even uglier. But what I do know, okay, let me give you a couple options. And what's funny is, if you remember, I made that video saying that from here, when we dropped down to, was it here? Yeah. When I said was it here? Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's gonna kind of like go like that, right? What's funny is look at ES. ES actually did that. Look at ES. So this is actually what I was talking about, when I said the market might, be a new market and change. And this is exactly what I was talking about. ES did it. We didn't. But that's actually what I meant. And I learned this from Euro USD, because I first traded Euro USD. And then I got familiar with this pattern when it was sinking in 2000, was it 21? Or yeah, I think it was 21. And when they reached their peak before they sank all the way down, they started ranging out like this. So that's where I learned this pattern from Euro USD. Check it out if you want. But anyways, so ES did it, but we didn't. So we did all this, right? So what am I saying? Well, I do want to come still in here, but it's the 10th, and the historical data shows that in the second week, or I would say like they consolidate till about the 15th of the month, like the middle of the month. So what this could do is it could do this. It could do this. It could do this. You know what I'm saying? And then by the end of the month, or the last 10 days of the month, let's just say by like the 20th, right? In 10 days from now, that we finally make our way down to get into here. So, and definitely in here, and then possibly underneath here, and getting into this daily imbalance right here. I suspect that by the last 10 days of the month. Right? And then, what do you call it? September is supposed to bounce up like this, go up. All right. It'll kind of come up. Let me just do this. Damn, I didn't want to make this video too long. So let's just say we end up here, September, this is September, and then it'll do this. It'll kind of like do this, something like this. And then October, will be bullish and go up. That's what the historical data says. So we'll see. But so right now what I'm trying to say is we might consolidate a little bit here. That's option one, which I don't like. And option two is obviously we just start making our way down to take out these lows. We come in here into this daily imbalance, right? Because the top side is pretty much done. The only thing I'm concerned about is that gap with no physical body in it. But do they come and do that first? I think the top side is completely done. But they came right to it though. Beautiful, right? With that liquidity. So my intention now is obviously using this as resistance type of thing, and then we kind of like come our way down tomorrow. With consumer sentiment, I think is tomorrow, and CPI or whatever. I'm assuming we come back in here. As far as liquidity in the top side, again, I don't know if they're going to mosey their way up here and try to take out that high, or get up into here before retracing. I don't know, but and I'm just being honest. But I generally want to come down here, so that's as good as it can get. So, and then dollar kind of told on itself as well. So 830 brought the price all the way down, which pushed us up, right? Then it retraced, what pushed us down. And then about 10 o'clock is when I took that trade to sell. And that's sitting right here, right? And then dollar is starting to go up and we're coming down. Sure enough, that it panned out exactly. But dollar, to help us in our case, I mean, this is a massive bullish candle. All right, look at the tail on this thing. So can it come down with a tail like that? Sure it can. It can be very confusing and it can consolidate. So that's why we say don't trade in August, because this can start to get ugly. So we'll see what happens. But, so hope this helps. You guys take care and God bless.